Okay, so I am exhaling into this next segment. I feel like I need to talk in a very calm and relaxed voice while I'm here. So you guys are getting into the flow. And what I didn't introduce you to is Helena from Ordinary Pioneer Yoga. We're actually here at her studio in White House. How you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad you're here.
Excellent. We're glad to be here. We had to travel outside of the studio. So can you tell us, I think today's session, we're talking about healing and healing postures. Now, why is posture so important?
Well, in terms of yoga, so yoga, we learn about the word prana, which is a life force energy. So the breath is this physical representation of this life force energy. It's what gives us power. It what helps us feel calm, right? So when we do these certain postures, we can use the intention or the will of the mind to create a healing experience. And I can walk you through a couple different examples of how we can do that if you'd like.
I would love that. I want to heal.
Right. So you can practice this at home too. So super simple, very accessible. So the heart, let's talk about the heart. So lots of emotions in the heart. It's one of the main energy centers. If you're familiar with the word chakra, it's the fourth chakra of the energy healing system. So lots of emotions in there. Self-love, our relationships with others is in there. So if we're dealing with grief, let's say, we're dealing through the grief of the loss of somebody, we can experience some heartache. And we could also feel maybe a little bit unsafe with that. So one of the postures we can do is basically give yourself a hug. So taking your hands and just wrapping them on each shoulder, right? So how often do you give yourself a hug, right? So here, physically, we're opening up the back body. The back body, if we have this imaginary shell, right? That's our protective thing. So here, we're wrapping ourselves in that protective field, helping our heart feel safe and calm. And then what we can do is we can just switch. So go ahead and switch. So the opposite arm is on top, if you remember what it is. Yeah. So feel the stretch in the back body, and then just bring awareness into the heart. And with yoga, again, with prana, we want to breathe. So with awareness on the heart, just take a deep inhale and exhale. And we can say to ourselves, I am safe right here, right now. I am protected to feel what I feel. Yeah, and then just go ahead and release that. So how do you feel from that?
My mind just went like somewhere else.
Yeah.
I do feel a lot more relaxed.
Right.
I feel very comforted.
Yeah, good, wonderful. And so then another way we can do it is a heart opener. If you've been to yoga class and you hear about heart opener. So this is bringing the chest forward, basically exposing the heart. So you can grab to the back of your chair and just lean on forward, right? So the heart is forward here. I feel a little silly. So the heart is exposed here. So this is a place where we really want to express ourselves. If we're having a hard time communicating from the heart, we can do this posture. If we're not feeling as loved today and we really want to open ourselves up to receive love, this is another one too. So you can imagine, breathe into the heart. Love pouring into your heart. And then cleansing and clearing away anything that is preventing you from fully experiencing this love. Another deep breath.
I'm trying so hard not to smile because I'm supposed to look calm and relaxed, but this is so
but maybe that's good, right? It's natural to smile, right? When you feel love, what do? You smile.
Okay, so one of the best things that I like about these postures is if you're working from home and remote and kind of need to take a break or some me time, if you're at the office too.
Absolutely. So accessible. We can think of yoga as doing back bends and handstands, and all of that can be a beautiful expression of the body, but it doesn't have to be that way. Those who may not feel that they are as flexible or may not be able to do much on the floor, this is very accessible for everybody.
One, are you located? But two, if they want to visit you online, how can they do that?
So everyone can find us at ordinarypioneer.com. We're also on Facebook.
Well, energy is a hot button topic, and we talk a lot about shifting your energy. But did you know that there's a way that you can actually think yourself happy or shift your energy into a happy frequency? Joining us today to tell us more, we have Helena with Ordinary Pioneer Yoga. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad you're here.
Excellent. Glad to be just kind of out in the studio and in the field. And might I add, while the studio is cool, it does not have these spinning chairs.
They're fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, so we're talking about energy. What comes to mind?
So energy is in everything, literally everything. We are composed of energy. Our tea is composed of energy, right? As we were talking about how calming our tea is, how good we feel with it. So everything is composed of energy. So what we can do as these intellectual beings is we can manipulate the energy that we have with the will of the mind or intention. So one way to do that, if you're having a really rough day, we can say these simple mantras to ourselves, like, I am calm, I'm not going to let this bother us. How many times a day do we talk to ourselves, right? Like, I'm not going to let that bother me. Through the will of the mind, we're literally doing our own energy healing.
That's very empowering.
Yeah.
Why is it that people typically go to somebody else and say, okay, I want you to heal me, or I want you to do this?
The fixer mindset, right? So if we go to somebody else, it's like it kind of takes it off of ourselves of, well, let's have this other person do this for me. But this really engages ourselves and, like I said, empowers us to be our own healer. You can think of the bubble around us. We kind of say that, like, oh, this person's a little bit close into my bubble,
yes.
Right? Yeah. So we can sense each other's bubble. Like, you and I have this meshing wonderful bubble right now, and we just always have fun, right? Like, the frequencies are aligned. But sometimes, if we're in a stressful work environment, we have that, unfortunately, one person who may have kind of a chaotic life come into the office, and then their bubble starts to bring debris into our bubbles, and then we leave, and we're like, oh man,
that's a good
I
word.
feel really stressed, right?
Wow.
So one way that we can do is to cleanse our bubble is just, you can just go ahead and do it. It's just like brushing out,
What? Have you heard the song "Wipe Me Down" by Lil
Yeah, go and brush it up, right? So doing that, and you can imagine just all of that extra energetic debris that's not mine, this is theirs, just shedding it off. Another way to do this is in the shower. So if you get home from work for a stressful day, jump in the shower. Imagine all of this energetic debris, everything that is not yours and that is of good and light, is just being cleansed and washed down the drain. Yeah, super easy, right?
I'm just trying to think of visualizing that in the shower, just letting the river waters.
Oh my goodness.
Northwest Ohio cleanse me.
Yes. Yeah.
So these are things that we can do to kind of practice and to be mindful. And these are things that you teach here at Ordinary Pioneer Yoga.
I do. So Reiki it's a form of energy healing that has been derived from the Japanese. And so what it is, it's the same thing like in yoga, the prana, the life force energy, this divine energy around us. We're taking that, and through our intention, we are cleansing and clearing our system to get deep down into what is really bothering us. Why am I getting these headaches? Why is my stomach nauseous? A lot of it, like I said, it's all energy. So how do we get into there and cleanse and release the roots of that issue in order to feel more peace and balance in the present moment?
I like that. So kind of Reiki tips or energy tips that we can use, again, are to, one, brush all the bad juju, the bad vibes off of us, but also to cleanse it off in the shower.
Yes, yeah. And you can think of your hands as these healing hands. So we naturally do that, right? What do you do if you're experiencing heartache? Your hands naturally go to your heart, right? If you're like me and you bump your knee or you stub your toe after you curse, where do your hands go? They go, they go right to your body. So we intuitively already know what to do.
What are some things you offer for residents or just people in the nearby area?
Yeah, so we have various yoga classes, everything healing based. We have an energy healing yoga class that we do every single week. We teach meditation here, the Reiki sessions. We have intuitive card readings, and we also do a lot of community work here. So we're so big on community. We believe that coming together, creating that unity really helps us heal as one. We can recognize bits of ourselves into other people and really relate to them in a way where we can continue to uplift others and receive the uplifting energy as well.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, if people want to actually visit your physical location or head to you online, where did they go?
Yeah, ordinarypioneer.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.